Hello and welcome back to Gamer Crafting Vlogmas Day 19. Today I'm going to talk to you about my indie dyer crushes. Everybody's got their own indie dyer crushes. Whether you're an indie dyer or just a lover of hand-dyed yarns, we've all got the people whose stuff you just look at from across a crowded room and you just think, oh my god, I love that. It's absolutely stunningly beautiful. Every dyer has our own style. We all have wildly different methods of dyeing yarn, and so obviously that's going to yield very different results. And there's also some things that other dyers do that I don't do. For example, self-striping yarn. I don't tend to do self-striping yarn because I don't have the space for it, because there's so many extra steps involved and we just don't have the space for it here. So I've never really done self-striping yarn. So that is frequently something that I will treat myself to. So after a couple of days of feeling really just rotten and crabby and gross, I took some time out of my day yesterday. As you saw in yesterday's Vlogmas, which I uploaded this morning, you'll see that I took a little bit of time out of my day to play some games with some friends. I played some Guild Wars 2 with my wife and our friend Mike, who we actually got into playing the game because their festive Winter's Day festival is on now. It is my favorite, seasonal festival of any game that I've ever played. And I also took part in the Nikki and Bunty weekly Mario Kart tournament on the Nintendo Switch. We only just got a Nintendo Switch. It was kind of like our Christmas present to us, really. And so I ordered it kind of early in the month and haven't really had much of a chance to play on it yet, but it was actually really fun. I had a really good time and remembered that it's quite different racing against other humans versus racing against the AI. Anyway, so I'm going to show you some of my biggest indie dyer crushes. Number one on my crush list is Lola of Third Vault Yarns. As you know, I have done collaborations with Lola in the past. We've done 2 collaborations, and we are currently working on doing another one that will be launched at Waltham Abbey Wool Show at the end of January, and that one's inspired by the Amazon Prime show The Expanse, which Lola told me. She said, oh, I think, Angie, I think that you'd like it. It's very sci-fi. And so I went and I just binged the entire thing. And as soon as I was finished, I was like, oh my God, we have to do something collaborative. So we worked together. I went to her studio for the first collaboration, and for this one, she came out here for our Friendsgiving, which was a podcast, if you're interested in looking at our Friendsgiving episode. And the next day, we just kind of tooled around in my studio / aka kitchen, and we worked out some things and decided on some bases and dyes and everything. So Lola's my first big dye crush. Having worked with Lola, the way that she dyes yarn is so different to mine, and it's always really fascinating to me to watch how other people work and how they work out how they're going to tackle something, and how to achieve a certain effect or a certain look, or really be representative of whatever it is that they're feeling inspired by. Lola's dye methods result in super saturated colors that are just beautiful on every base that she dyes. Super saturated. She's incredibly methodical with the way that she dyes, and it's just astounding to me, and sometimes makes me feel like I'm a little bit of a lazy dyer when I look at how she approaches finding the perfect shade of something. We'll just keep mixing and mixing and mixing until she gets the perfect shade that she's looking for. Also, Lola recently released these nifty, cool gadgets. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, she recently released these nifty cool gadgets. I'll insert a picture here. They're these mini gauges. They're so freaking clever, and I'm astounded. And obviously I need one, even though I don't typically knit swatches because I tend to fly by the seat of my pants, which is not a good example to be setting, but it's such a cool gadget. I think it might actually inspire me to be a bit more mindful. And it's also got a needle gauge on it, which is rad, and it's also got it's an easy enough thing that you could just use a little clip to clip inside your your project bag. Super freaking rad. And let me show you a couple of her yarns. Okay, so here was the last collaboration that we did. It was inspired by the book Do You Dream of Terra 2 by Temi O, which is a really good read if it's something that you are interested, if you're into sort of sci-fi books and that. And I dyed sort of a lighter color, and Lola did her sort of classic, really deep, saturated, dark, moody colors. I also super love this yarn from her. It's called Cosmic Turtle. And I mean, you all know my absolute love and affinity for greens. It's a deep and enduring love. And this green is so saturated and beautiful. I just think that it's absolutely stunning. So these are two of my favorite things. The collaboration we worked on together, of which I think Lola's actually looks a little better. I mean, like on a subjective level, obviously I like the one that I did, but I think that hers works really, really well. And Cosmic Turtle are two of just my quick looking through her shop favorite things. But I know that she recently released a collection based on the Muses, and that was super amazing as well. I'll try to pull those pictures down in from Instagram. So second on my list of my indie dyer crushes, it has to probably be Fiberpunk, who is, I think, fairly new to the scene. I met Fiberpunk at Perth Festival of Yarn back in September, and he does some really awesome self-striping as well as some lovely variegated, but I just kind of wanted to share my current fave from his store, which is a Christmas colorway, and it's called Mrs. Claus's Bloomers, and it's so freaking cute. I love this really crisp green paired with a really punchy red. I might have to treat myself to a skein or a ball of this self-striping sock yarn. I think that it's amazing. And like I said, self-striping sock yarn is definitely something that I tend to treat myself to. So I would say definitely keep an eye on his shop. Third on my list of my indie dyer crushes is Dye Candy. And so this is Hutch of Dye Candy, who I met for the first time at Woolen in 2018, that must be it, because this was the second year of Woolen. That was the first time that I ever met Hutch. Her stand was next to mine, and we kind of got chatting, and I was just immediately stricken by the super punchy yet like really crisp speckles that she achieves on her yarn bases. The way that she does speckles just like sings into my soul a song of just beauty and also strength and punchiness. Not to mention, she launched spinning fiber this year in 2019. I think she launched it this year. It might have been late last year. But anyway, sometime within the last 12-ish months, she's launched spinning fiber, and I have a few of her bats that I've bought at yarn shows, because we were at Woolen again together and again at Perth Festival of Yarn in September. And her spinning fiber is absolutely beautiful, and honestly makes me really resent myself for not finding more time to spin. I don't have a big spinning wheel. I only have one of those the eel wheels, the small ones. I have the original ones that were wood, not the newer ones, which are the purple plastic ones. I've used it a couple of times. I think for this one, you kind of have to be a little bit better at spinning than me to get a really super good result. I know that it's not the machine, it's definitely me, because people in my stitching group were like, oh wow, this works really well. So the fact that I was having problems is definitely a user error. And I used to do drop spindling more, but I started having issues with my wrist. But anyway, I have a bunch of spinning fiber that's ready to go as soon as I manage to find the time for it. So I'm just gonna pop in a couple of pictures here of some stuff that Hutch has dyed and that's currently in her shop. Speckles and spinning fiber ahoy! And last but certainly not least, by the way, this is not an exhaustive list of my indie dyer crushes. This is just a few that I was thinking of today. So last but certainly not least on my list of indie dyer crushes is Needle and Fred. Needle and Fred I met at Perth Festival of Yarn in September, which you're hearing a lot about. It's a good place to meet indie dyers. Needle and Fred has some really, really gorgeous stuff in her shop, and I also have to say that her Vlogmas episodes have been giving me a lot of joy over the last few days. if you're looking for some Vlogmases that are just really chill and happy with lots of cats wiggling around, then definitely check out her YouTube channel for that. I just wanted to say that her You're Turning Violet, which is a reference, I assume, to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, is beautiful. There are so many tones in this gorgeous purple yarn, and this is what base is this? Right, that's what I thought. So this base that I'm admiring, this You're Turning Violet, is from 100% BFL. And BFL is a base that I am quickly falling in love with. I've only just very recently started dyeing it. It's not even in my shop yet because I'm still working on getting used to the fiber and how it dyes and everything. But her You're Turning Violet is just stunningly gorgeous. And I don't want this. Where's the other page? And also her shade Tealing My Heart, which is on a BFL sock, it looks like, is gorgeous because I mean, I love green. I love teal as well, like teals and greens, like that's where I live color wise. I'd have to really push myself to like move from outside of the teals and the blues, otherwise that's all I would dye all the time. But this Tealing My Heart is just really beautiful, and like her branding is super cute as well. And like I said, I really like her stuff, like her semi-solids and everything is super cute. She also does some spinning fiber. And yeah, so I just kind of wanted to share with you some of my indie dyer crushes for today's Vlogmas because I didn't really do anything else that was very interesting. I sat on the couch and I binged the entire first season of a show called Shrill, which is on BBC iPlayer, which I loved with all of my heart. I cried like 3 times, and now I'm sad that there's no season 2. Well, there will be eventually, but there isn't right now. But anyway, I just sat on the couch and I binged that while I was packing up orders. That basically was my entire day, packing up orders, because tomorrow is the last day that we'll be going to the post office, because after that it is closed for the holidays. So I have to make sure that everything that needs to go out goes out tomorrow. So that's basically what we've been doing all day. Well, Sarah was out running some errands. I was sitting on the couch packing up orders, and that's been my whole day, but that's not really fun to vlog, so I decided to share this instead. Thank you all very much for watching. Please do tune in tomorrow, or possibly the next day. I'm not really sure when the next vlog will be out, because we're doing some fun stuff tomorrow night, and it may be the next day before you get to see what we're up to. Please do like and subscribe, and also tap the notification bell if you want to be notified when we put up a new video, because the YouTube algorithm is not necessarily friendly to us all. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a fabulous weekend, weekend. I hope that you're all done with work. I don't know, I'm yammering. Thanks everyone. See ya.